All right, so what would you use your power for?
My own stuff. I mean...
My business, what?
Yeah. No, I mean, like, the guys at Chronicle, I would just, like, you know, do a lot of fun stuff with it. If I had telekinesis, I would try what they're doing, which is to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I would not want people to know about it.
Speaking of saving people, okay, let's say I have a superpower that can heal people. Would you want to, like, heal people? If you have a superpower to, like, oh, there's a wound, touch, and it's healed.
You see, if I was in that position, I would choose my profession appropriate to that.
And
so even if I couldn't become a doctor, I would try and get like a medic certification, and then I would just apply that in addition to my knowledge of how to fix people normally. And I think that having the superpower and the actual knowledge behind it could make for some very interesting day-to-day life. Yeah, speaking of that, have you guys thought up any quote-unquote real-life superpowers?
Oh, there's actually quite a number of people who have a very high resistance to electricity.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this guy's name's Jose Ayala. And what he can do is that he can touch live wires and then direct it to his other finger, where he can, like, burn paper and stuff. How cool is that, right? That's like the highest level of firebending in Avatar.
Yeah?
Yeah, it took like years for Zuko to... Okay, not years, but, you know, a lot of effort for Zuko to learn that. And this guy, he can just do it naturally.
Now, my question is, what was the learning curve for that? How did he find out in the first place?
It's not just him. There's like a number of people, and most of them found out by like touching live wires by accident and realizing that they didn't die. And then touch again. Hey.
This sounds kind of like the learning curve for a backflip. The first time you try it, you might break your neck, you know, and so you're like, I wonder. Okay.
I actually used to think that I had a superpower, which is to control electricity.
Oh, did you just make the lights flicker?
No. Okay, because twice there's like a blackout in my house, right?
Yeah, it's a good sample size.
Everyone has dreams. There you are judging me. Okay, anyway, right? Okay, twice, which is not once, twice.
Okay.
Right? There was a blackout in my house, and like I told the fan to turn on, and it did. That's it. Yeah.
Cool story, bro.
No, okay. It's not just because of me, it's because my sister encouraged my...
Yeah, while she was sitting near a switch, right? She was like, okay, wait for it.
No, she didn't do that. She was just like, hey, oh my gosh, that happened. You are so cool.
Oh man, that's awesome.
My sister used to believe that too, because both of us like the rain, and she'll go outside and she'll point to the sky, thunder, and then there will be thunder, and then she said, oh, I have superpowers. Okay, that's my experience.
I guess I'm not alone in this world.
No, it's not a superpower, but I think I'm haunted, and here's why. So when I was in college, I would use a Ouija board with some of my friends, and we met this ghost named Nina. Hi, Nina. I think you're listening right now. And
Don't draw her here.
she always follows me around. It's standard.
Shit.
Yeah. And so I met this ghost, and since I met her, every time I walk by streetlights, I have at least from what I can tell as compared to other people, there's a very high proclivity of streetlights turning off while I walk by them and then turning back on. And so every time that happens, I always just assume that it's my little ghost saying hello.
Oh, there's this woman named Debbie Wolf, and she can affect electrical equipment. Like, she can make streetlights flicker when she passes by.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not really proven, but they tested her out and showed her like a video of people getting tested. Because it's supposed to make her react emotionally to it. And they actually managed to prove that the electrical currents inside her body like increased when she was excited or when she was upset. And that's how she disrupts electrical equipment.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
So maybe you're the same as her.
Maybe
Maybe there isn't a ghost.
Okay.
You know?
I wonder if I'd prefer that or the ghost. I think I'd prefer the ghost, because I kind of like Nina. Did you guys ever read about Magnet Boy?
Nope.
What's that?
So Magnet Boy was this, I think he must have been maybe 8 years old, and he lived in Eastern Europe. And they believed that he was actually magnetic, and so like you could put pens up against him and they would just stay there and all that. And so pictures of this kid circulated around the internet, and they got quite popular. And so then eventually someone went out there to figure it out, and it turned out that all the pictures had been faked, obviously. But the way that they'd been faked is he would lean back a little bit, but he was just kind of a dirty little kid, and so he was kind of sticky. And so when you stuck pens to him, if he just leaned a little bit, then it would stick to his skin. But for a little while there, the whole internet thought that Magnet Boy existed and that he was slightly magnetic. And that's my story. Okay, so do you guys have a preference for specific kinds of origin stories, or do you have a favorite one?
I kind of prefer the mutation thing rather than the something suddenly happening thing, because it has a more scientific explanation and it can happen to anyone. Hey, it's kind of scientific, okay? It kind of makes you hope, because, you know, it can happen to anyone as compared to an isolated event of a meteorite falling into Earth, like what happened in Chronicle.
Sure.
Yeah, and you know, I could be evolved right now and not know it.
So you're just waiting for your powers to manifest?
Yeah.
So do I
I
just
mean,
need
it
to
did
heighten your
manifest with the
emotions?
electricity.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, I
just
need
waiting to control
more
it.
stuff to prove it.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Just don't touch me. Don't zap me.
So you're
I'll
saying
try.
you're born with that mutation, or it happens accidentally, like one day?
You're born with it,
Born
but
with
then
it.
it may manifest not when you're born, but later on in your life.
Yeah, like when you're about to get hit by a car, or when
Yep.
you're making out with somebody,
Okay.
or yeah, standard.
Oh my gosh! There's this superhero called Zeitgeist from Marvel, and
I know
his,
about that one.
his power manifested like while he's kissing a girl, and he vomited on her. Like his
Hey,
vomit
you're
is
pretty-
like he has this acidic vomit thing. That's his power.
Mhm.
So like he burned off like half her face. That's kind of sad, isn't
But she
it?
still loved him.
No, she didn't.
Uh,
That's sadder than Bouncing Boy.
that is sadder than Bouncing Boy. Any preference?
No, actually, my preference is the one that's similar to Spider-Man, that you get bit by something or something happens. Not you find something, but something just comes to you and
Sure, so external stimuli
Yes,
what actually causes
yes.
it, as opposed to mutation.
Mutation.
Okay. But what if Spider-Man was always that way, and getting bit by the spider, he was just a hypochondriac? Think about that.
The thing about Spider-Man, right, that they never show, is that he always makes webs, right?
But he
And
never
then-
poops.
No. What? No, I mean he just leaves them there. Who's gonna clean them up,
Oh, wow.
right?
Oh, wow, that changes everything.
And there's a horrible person leaving his mess around.
Maybe they just sort of wither up in the sun?
Well, they never said that. I mean,
Well, we
normal
never
webs.
see the webs there like the next time
Yeah,
he goes
the
to the city.
normal webs don't wither in the sun, and his are like super webs.
Oh, man, there must be some other guy who's just going around cleaning them up.
Yeah.
Maybe there's someone whose superpower is that they can eat spider webs for food. And nuclear waste.
Matter eater lad.
Yeah.
Web eater lad.
So, do you guys have a superpower that you wish you had?
I wish I have super memory. Yeah, photographic memory, because I took a test actually 2 days ago when I was in my room doing nothing, and turns out that I have a 10% chance of having photographic memory. And I wish I had.
While you were locked for 4 days in your room.
Yeah.
Taking the test over and over again?
One
I think
time.
that's cheating.
Until you got the result.
10%. Yeah, the average is 20. So
You should have mentioned that before we started believing that you actually had some sort of ability.
yeah.
How about you?
My favorite is technopathy, which is the ability to talk to machines. Because, okay, nowadays a lot of information is digitalized, right? A lot of people are interconnected because of the internet, right? So theoretically, I could be touching this mic, which is connected to that Mac over there, which is connected to Zack's MacBook, and I could be reading everything that he has in there, all the dirty secrets that you keep.
And they're all about you.
I know, because I'm touching it now. I'm reading your shit. Yeah. And, yeah, I mean, compared to other powers, right? I think that it's a lot more useful in the real world. You could essentially affect anyone, anywhere, as long as they have some sort of connection to the internet, right? And, like, it gives you a lot of potential for really bad stuff, like stealing. No, okay.
So you like widespread power?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You kind of like, you know those crime movies, they always have a computer genius in the background, somewhere in the lineup, like Seth Green in Italian Job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could be
The
that.
real Napster?
Yeah, I could be the one, like, you know, switching traffic lights and stopping trains so that they could get away with the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if such a case happens that the normals find out that supers exist and they somehow come up with the idea of lynching them, it's more likely for them, for people whose abilities manifest like physically, like super strength and things like that, to be lynched first while I sit behind my computer screen doing evil deeds and no one will ever know about it.
And you can always erase your name from the internet. if
Yeah,
they,
that's the thing,
figure it
right?
out. Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm reading your shit.
Don't look at that picture. Believe me. Right. I think that my superpower would be regeneration. I don't even want to go so far as saying that I want the Wolverine-esque exoskeleton installed. But if you have regeneration, then you'll be around for a lot longer, and you can learn a lot more. And your power also isn't necessarily manifesting in any way that's potentially obvious, and so you could just move from place to place over time. And so you could just have a much longer story than everybody else.
Yeah, but you watch everyone you love die.
Yeah, I'll make lots of new friends, too. Yeah, but I think that'd be a lot of fun. Just go explore the world, learn a bunch of languages, read a lot of good books and movies.
But how are you going to explain it to everyone? Like, let's say you're trying to get a passport to go somewhere, and then they're going to ask for your birth cert, and then you're going to be like, you know, I was born at this date like 500 years ago.
I wouldn't try and explain it to people. I would just get forged documents all the time. And because I've been around for so long, I'd have figured out the system.
And you know where you're gonna get forged documents? From me, the technopath. Right?
No, because I
Okay.
will have been around for so long that I'll know better than to use
yeah.
technology.
Oh, no, because I'll be dead by then.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I just realized that.
Oh yeah.
yes. No, it's fine. I'll make investments really early on, and then I'll just let those accumulate. Yeah, it'll be perfect. Yeah. Actually, I need to get a buddy who can send me back in time once I have that power. That's the ticket. So being able to live for a really long time and getting sent back, say, 150 years, because I'd already know kind of what's going to happen, and so I can pick out a few things and say, okay, I need to invest in that, that, and that, and I need to avoid these places because that stuff is going to happen there. I'd be good to go. And I feel like we should come up with fake superhero names for each of us. You really like that idea?
I mean, I didn't think... You know the thing about superhero names, right? You think it's ridiculous that people call them, like, Superman, Batman, and such. It all says man in the end, and it's not very imaginative, right?
Cybersexia?
I'm not a porn star!
If you can control the internet, and people use the internet half for porn and half for everything else, maybe you will be.
Well, if I could control the internet, I would just, like, destroy all the porn. Okay, maybe not.
Supervillain.
Yeah. I have found a function for myself.
Does not compute. That can be your tagline.
What?
Does not compute. That's what you say when you're about to kill somebody.
I don't want to kill people, okay?
Don't lie. We know you're supervillain. Look at those eyes.
No, I mean, I want to steal stuff, but I don't want to kill people. That's a different thing.
Malevolent.
You know, I could like be like a Robin Hood person, and I could steal stuff from the rich and give them to the poor.
But you're not going to.
All with the internet. See, that's not so bad.
No, if I have a superpower, I'll just use it for like very selfish purposes, like what's Prince William's phone number?
Yeah. I would get like
That could sell.
Zachary Quintos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you'd figure out how to turn them, too.
Damn it.
We could just add, like, suffixes. So I could be like, Zack the Magnificent.
What? Carmina the...
Carmina the kind of digital.
That's not very superhero-ish. Considering all the philanthropic stuff that I plan to do.
Just so full of it. You're going to get rid of porn. That's not philanthropic.
I'll get rid of
You're
some
gonna start
of it.
revolutions.
No, hey, I'm gonna get rid of child porn. See?
Okay.
See? That doesn't affect you, right? You
Nope.
don't. Yeah,
Nope, it
doesn't. Are you sure?
Yes. Longevous. Like longevity?
No. Longevous. Sounds like a
Highlander?
religion.
Ah, yes, the longevous boys. At it again. Harmony through time. That's my tagline.
What do you need a tagline for? Your superpower is just by yourself. You don't help people.
Sure I can.
How?
There's much less risk for me to go and do anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
What?
Claire.
Shit, shit. Bleh, bleh.
Well, yeah, I forgot about Claire Bennett. Although she doesn't really do anything.
She tries a couple times.
Yeah.
And she's pretty good looking.
You tried.
You're helping too.
Here,
Good
hold
job,
this.
bouncer boy.
Read.
Time man?
Hi, man.
Yeah. Time man? Time man?
Yeah, but
You just sound like a
I mean,
Thai boy.
it's kind of misleading because people think you travel through Reggie.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm Reggie the Regenerating Wonder. It's perfect. I think you should be Siberia with a C.
Hey, that's kind of cool.
Right? Okay. Siberia, cool.
Yeah.
Reggie, cool. What do you got? Mimo?
What?
Violet.
That doesn't even make sense. That should be it. Okay.
This is Siberia with a C signing off.
This is Reggie the Regenerating Man signing off.
This is Violet signing off. I just like the name.